Google Maps erases the California wildfires. This is the Alligator News Roundup. Thanks for joining us today. Plus, the Georgia Supreme Court calls out attorney who relied on AI for case histories that were fake. LA mayoral candidate wants to ban backyard barbecues. And here's a campaign promise: free teeth for meth addicts. I can hardly wait for this. Here we go.
Number 4. California Post. Google Maps slammed for hiding brutal reality of LA fires ahead of elections.
When it comes to a major company showing its political colors, mum's the word. Multiple out-of-control wildfires in California a year ago destroyed 13,000 homes and drove some 200,000 residents to evacuate. Most notable were upscale communities in the Palisades and Altadena. The story dominated news at the time, especially with reports of reservoirs that had been allowed to go dry. Within 1 year, fewer than a dozen homes had been rebuilt. The area remains devastated today. As of this writing, you can easily see the damage in your map app, but only if you're using Apple Maps. Google Maps has inexplicably returned to using pre-2025 satellite imagery. Thus far, there has been no statement from Google as to why their current, up-to-date, always-on satellite mapping app suddenly shows images nearly 2 years out of date. I suppose if you are trying to navigate streets, it might work, assuming you can actually get vehicle access to the still burned areas. If, on the other hand, you are a property tax assessor, it could be a problem. It occurs to me that may be the play. It would be logical that local governments turn to publicly available satellite images to assess property values. I can hardly wait to see the stories of homeowners who lost $500,000 properties being billed for homes that no longer exist. The fly in the ointment is, as usual, the free market. While Google has purged the fire history by showing outdated images, Apple Maps continues to show the true devastation of affected neighborhoods. The side-by-side contrast is impressive. These government propagandists all really need to get on the same page.
Number 3. Red State. Georgia Supreme Court's punishment for prosecutor who cited fake case has people talking.
A murder trial in Georgia went against the defendant. The guilty party, not surprisingly, appealed the decision, and it went to the Georgia Supreme Court. The state prosecutor composed the state's response, showing case law that upheld the conviction. At some point, a judge actually read the response and looked up the cases the assistant district attorney cited. He could not find them because they did not exist. The judge wrote, quote, "There are at least 5 citations to cases that don't exist, including 3 quotations that don't exist," unquote. It turns out that ADA Deborah Leslie had relied on, you guessed it, an AI agent to prepare her case for the legal review. Now, I get it. She was probably overworked, understaffed, and underpaid. But when His Honor challenged her in open court, asking if she stood by her written response, it probably left her wishing she had chosen volleyball instead of debate for an extracurricular activity back in high school. The case was sent back to the lower court, and Ms. Leslie was suspended for 6 months. Some considered that punishment far too light, considering the stakes involved in this case. I asked my own ChatGPT agent why attorneys might place such blind trust in the large language model. It gave quite reasonable answers. An LLM understands what case citations look like, how judicial reasoning is structured, how appellate briefs are written, and how courts quote precedent. The model is not intentionally lying in the human sense. It is statistically predicting what a valid-looking answer should resemble. Well, try it yourself. Here's the prompt I used. There was a recent Georgia Supreme Court case tossed because the ADA relied on an AI agent to write a response to an appeal. A judge found the ADA had cited 5 non-existent cases. This seems like a stupid human mistake, trusting without verifying. What is there about AI responses that make them so believable? ChatGPT answered by saying, "The proper mental model for current LLMs is not junior associate, but rather an extremely articulate intern with a photographic memory, zero shame, and no built-in truth filter." Let's move on.
Number 2. AOL News. LA mayoral hopeful Nithya Raman proposes backyard barbecue ban.
Speaking of last year's California fires, a new proposal has been made to fix the problem. Los Angeles should ban backyard barbecue grills. Current LA City Council member Nithya Raman is running for mayor. She believes the solution to devastating fires, likely started by exposed electric lines in areas with excessive and dry ground cover and then exacerbated by high winds, is to stop residents from grilling hamburgers. Daytime temps can reach 100 degrees in that area, but evenings are generally cool. Many residents prefer to relax in the backyard at the end of the day. Meanwhile, there are a dozen factors that contributed to the LA devastation. They make fascinating reading, none of which involved a backyard Barbie. With backlash, who could have predicted that? Councilmember Rahman has attempted to distance herself from her own proposal. Good luck with that. Perhaps a word or two about clearing brush and seeing that reservoirs are filled might have been in order, but it was probably easier just to write a new city ordinance making it the fault of the residents. Tone deaf could be a term used here.
Number 1. Breitbart. Democrat LA Mayor Karen Bass proposes free teeth for meth addicts.
Staying with Los Angeles politics, because they are so juicy this week, I couldn't resist this one. Current Mayor Karen Bass, embattled in her bid for re-election, has found a way to appeal to a key constituency. Unfortunate persons addicted to methamphetamine often suffer from symptoms like dry mouth and broken teeth. Just what I had hoped for in a hobby. Not only does it not pay anything, it leaves me with a mouth of ruined teeth. If Mayor Bass is returned to the mayor's mansion, help will soon be on the way. Her proposal is to help unhoused persons with full, free dental care because, she says, you can't succeed without teeth. That may be true, but I suspect you also can't succeed with new teeth and a meth addiction. Boss, I know the guy's on meth, but look at that smile. Let's hire him to run the cash register. Given that implants run about $6,000 per tooth, costs are estimated at $30,000 to $80,000 per mouth. Given the number of meth addicts who apparently inhabit the City of Angels, this may be an expensive way to purchase a mayoral election. It's a good thing the taxpayers will be there to fund it instead of Mayor Bass herself. And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, May 22, 2026. Enjoy the spring weather while you can. This weekend should be perfect for a backyard barbecue. Fire up that grill and throw on some steaks, or maybe just hot dogs, depending on your budget. But it would be a good idea not to set the lawn on fire. If you are not sure what safety precautions to take, which maybe 200 million Americans have already successfully figured out, maybe you should stick to ramen noodles in the microwave. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for following us. Remember to share the episode with someone who desperately needs a right perspective on the news. With luck, they will still be your friend after they see what sort of blog you follow.